Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, our week 3 team builder here for the NPA. The Minnesota Vikavolts are taking on the South Texas Sableyes and coach InVividColor, who started out the season 1-1. He took an 0-3 loss. I think that was actually a default loss. I'm not sure if he took over the team midway through. I'm not positive. Or he just lost 3-0. I'm not sure. And then he picked up a 4-0 win his second game. So he's sitting at 1-1. We're obviously sitting at 2-0. So a pretty good start for us. So we're gonna try to keep that momentum kind of going here as we progress. You know, for the next couple weeks, and hopefully, you know, pick up a W this week. But these guys are pretty big threats, man. I think we have the right team to take him on, but we'll see here. So let's talk about his team, and we'll break it down, and then kind of talk about you know, what we're bringing and so on and so forth. So first thing, Tyranitar. Obviously, Tyranitar, big threat because it can set the sand up, gets that special defense boost in the sand. Could be problematic for my Ninetales if I try to set up a Royalville. He goes into Tyranitar. Got to be careful there. He's got the Haxorus, of course, which you know, it's just a huge setup sweeper. Haxorus can set up and just do a ton of damage, you know, with Dragon Dance and Swords Dance and things like that. Mold Breaker is really scary because it can Earthquake Levitators and so on. He's got the Delmise, which is a bulky grass and ghost type Pokemon with the Steelworker ability to give it kind of like steel type stab as well. Hits really hard, is his Rapid Spinner, of course, and a ghost type, so spin blocking there. Granbull, which is just like kind of a monstrous defensive fairy with Intimidate, can be really difficult to take down because of its Intimidate ability, and it can be a cleric for the rest of the team with Heal Bell. Hariyama is just a really offensive fighting type Pokemon that's pretty slow, but it does hit pretty hard with like close combat and knockoff, often seen with Assault Vest or you know, like a Flame Orb or something like that. He's got the ALOLA Dugtrio, which surprisingly is actually kind of tough against my team. Steel type and ground type hits a lot of things really hard, and it has like the Tangling Hair ability, which can slow my team down like Gooey would for Goodra. So Alolan Dugtrio, definitely kind of a thing there. It can also set Stealth Rocks. Mega Alakazam is his mega pick, which is a blazing fast, super quick Pokemon that can switch into hazards because of its ability. Magic Guard, and then it gets Trace, so it can copy an ability, which can be really good. He's got the Raikou, which is super good, man. Really fast electric type Pokemon that hits pretty hard. Obviously, it can be a Calm Mind set, Assault Vest set, just like an offensive Life Orb set. You know, Raikou does a lot of different things pretty well. He's got the Gligar, which is a defensive, defogging, stealth rocking Pokemon, which can be pretty difficult to take down just because of Eviolite and just natural bulk. He's got the Volcanion, which is often seen as a choice specs user or Scarfer. It can hit really, really hard with a number of different moves, Steam Eruption primarily, and then Yanmega, which surprisingly, Yanmega is actually a huge threat. Tinted Lens, choice specs, Yanmega rips through teams because it just hits so hard with, you know, Bug Buzz and Air Slash and things like that. It could also be speed boost and be really fast and so on and so forth. So in terms of what I think he's gonna bring, like kind of hard to say. I do feel like Granbull makes a lot of sense. I can see Tyranitar coming, I can see Gligar coming, I can see Raikou and Alakazam coming. I mean, he really has a couple different options. Delma, I mean, really anything could come in my mind. I really feel like anything could come. I feel like he's got a lot of things that you gotta be scared of. So there's that, you know, Gligar can be really bulky and can stop a few different things in my team, but you know, like Mega Mawile like rips offensively through a lot of his team, but at the same time, like, you know, he's got a couple good switch-ins, so I think Volcanion probably comes. Like I said, T-Tar, Alakazam, maybe Raikou, probably Gligar, Granbull, something like that. But again, I'm not ruling out Dugtrio, I'm not ruling out anything really. Maybe Hariyama is the one thing that I'm like, I don't know if he goes Hariyama, but even Hariyama with like Bullet Punch could be pretty good against my team, so a lot of different things there. But let's talk about our team. I think I covered, like I said, all the bases. And I think we have a good strategy going into this week, but it's going to be a tough one for sure. So let's kick things off with Victini here. 4 kills so far this season. Bringing that Expert Belt, hoping to bluff a choice Scarf this week. You know, we got the Bolt Strike, the Brick Break, the V-Create, and the Glaciate, allowing me to switch up moves with the Expert Belt. I think that's pretty important. Mostly physically offensive, but we've got a little bit of special offensive there as well, but you know, this thing is really designed to be physically offensive. You know, Bolt Strike for Volcanion, beautiful. Brick Break destroys Tyranitar, obviously. V-Create is there to just rip through his team, and then Glaciate, obviously, for slowing things down is something Glaciate does. It's like Icy Wind a little stronger, but really for Gligar, hitting that thing 4 times super effectively. You know, maybe stopping Haxorus from potentially sweeping my team. You know, maybe slowing down Alakazam if I'm worried about that. So a couple different options there, but really Victini's job is to break his team down, and you know, he doesn't really have, like, he can switch into a V-Create, but Glaciate's really solid there, and again, like, Tyranitar's a really good Victini kind of switch in, but he doesn't want to switch into an offensive attack and then take a brick break, so as long as I'm really careful about when I choose to click V-Create, we should be in pretty good shape there, and V-Create, again, is just really meant to just rip through things like Raikou, and you know, we got max speed there to outspeed Yanmega and stuff like that. So, next Pokemon we're bringing is our Mega Mawile. Who would have saw that coming, man? Mega Mawile is here. The Tooth Fairy has arrived. Intimidate, Adamant Nature. A lot of bulk this week. Max HP, not full attack. A little bit of special defense, tiny bit of speed. But Ice Punch, Play Rough, Thunder Punch, Sucker Punch. So Ice Punch obviously is really crucial for Dhelmise and Haxorus. It also is for Gligar primarily. Play Rough hits everything pretty hard. And then Thunder Punch is for Volcanion. Sucker Punch because, you know, Alakazam is going... Excuse me. Is going to outspeed us, so we definitely want to be able to Sucker Punch it. Got to be scared of a potential substitute, but nevertheless, it helps against Haxorus. Things like that. Sucker Punch games is really nice. Intimidate's really clutch there, but I didn't really want Iron Head as much as Granbull. Getting rid of Granbull is super important in this game, but I really feel like I didn't need Iron Head when I can Play Rough, so that was kind of my thought process there. But yeah, we hit really hard with the elemental punches either way, so not a huge deal, but pretty standard stuff here for the Tooth Fairy. The next Pokemon is really important. We got our Smogmog here, our Weezing coming back. Love this Weezing. Toxic Spike, Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Ice, and Pain Split. One of the main things about this team, I have a very core strategy this week, and it involves Salamence really being effective, so you'll see I have Salamence here at the end, but you know, so the things that are really going to stop Salamence from winning this game is Granbull and Gligar, really, and I felt like Weezing was a good way to deal with those two Pokemon. Obviously, I have to be a little scared of Haxorus, Earthquake, and obviously Alakazam. You know, Volcanion kind of blows through me, but this also helps me deal with his Dugtrio, which is nice, so I can handle the Dugtrio. I can handle the Hariyama as well in case he brings that. So Weezing kind of checks off a lot of boxes in terms of stuff that I was scared of. I can, for the most part, deal with Dhelmise as well. So Toxic Spike's really important though in this match. He doesn't have a poison type. His only way to get rid of the spikes, Toxic Spikes, are like Rapid Spin, Dhelmise, or, you know, Defog Gligar. Not really worried though, because I could set those Toxic Spikes up and really start to wear down his team. So I really like this Weezing set, and I think those Toxic Spikes are gonna be clutch, especially when it comes to wearing things down like T-Tar and so on and so forth to ensure KOs. So really love that set. Again, Hidden Power Ice just to help me wear down the Gligar. I can't two-shot him, he can Roost Stall me, but nevertheless, like, I can set up T-Spikes and kind of, you know, force him to defog and do some different things like that. So I really dig that. We've got our Silvally here. Nope, just kidding, that's Seismitoad next. Let me move this around. Seismitoad is next. Love this Seismitoad set, man. We're bringing a bulky Seismitoad. Got a little bit of speed on there, mostly special defense, a little bit of attack, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Punch knockoff. Pretty straightforward stuff. Don't need a water type move. This thing's got the Rindo Berry, which is going to be able to take a grass type move. So if he's packing something like a Z Solar Beam on Volcanion, or primarily HP Grass on Raikou, this thing switches into those Pokemon and is able to fire off a big Earthquake. So that was kind of my thought process there with Bubbles. I feel like Bubbles could put in some work. Knockoff, really nice. You know, I could take an Energy Ball from Alakazam or something if he brings that. But, you know, we're hitting a lot of things super effectively, which is great. And we can take some pretty big hits back, being super bulky and having that Water Absorb as a primary response to Volcanion. Like, assuming he has to bring Z Solar Beam or HP Grass or something like that, or whatever it might get, Energy Ball, I'm not sure. But either way, the Rindo Berry is there for that, and I can Earthquake it. And naturally, we do outspeed Volcanion, which is nice. And again, this is primary to deal with Raikou as well, to stop him from Volt Switching. So we've got that going for us. I don't know if he brings both of those Pokemon, but there will be some pressure on Seismitoad, so I have to keep that in mind. Seismitoad is definitely going to be pressured in this match. It's just a matter of using it effectively to, you know, stop those two Pokemon. Because otherwise, like, they're really big threats. Like, Raikou, Volcanion are big threats to my team, so I need to be able to, like, I can offensively deal with them, but defensively I don't have the best switch in, so Seismitoad is the answer to that. We've got our Silvally here next. Like I said, a couple of my Pokemon are backwards. Silvally is next, rocking a Steel-type Silvally, which is probably the most known Silvally form. Steel-type with Defog, Parting Shot, Iron Head, Ice Beam. Went with Iron Head to hit things like T-Tar. Obviously a little harder. I don't hit Granbull as hard, but that's okay. I hit the Alakazam a little bit harder with Iron Head. This is my primary way to deal with Alakazam. You know, Dark type would be nice, but I felt like the Steel type actually helped out against some other switch-ins too. You know, like I said, Dark was kind of cool, but again, Steel felt a little bit better, especially when it came to Granbull. Again, this team really revolves around getting rid of Granbull and getting rid of Gligar, so this helps with that too. Like, I can Ice Beam the Gligar, even though he can hit me pretty hard with Earthquakes and stuff. I am pretty bulky, and I do have the ability to Parting Shot out as well, so Ice Beam really nice there. And again, Iron Head, Parting Shot, straightforward stuff, but this is my main way to switch into Alakazam. Like, I can take a Psychic and a Focus Blast, so he has to hit the Focus Blast, but I can take both, which is nice. I can hit really hard with Iron Head. So yeah, and then the main core of the strategy is going to be our Salamence here. We got the Jolly Moxie Choice Scarfments. Basically, my thought process is in this battle, it's about weakening his team, lowering his HP on stuff, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, things like that, weakening his team down, getting rid of Granbull, and then once Granbull is gone, Salamence should be able to come in and click Outrage or Dragon Claw, win the game with Moxie. And we are going to outspeed everything. We're going to outspeed the Alakazam, which I like. We're going to outspeed the Raikou. We're going to outspeed Haxorus at +1. We're going to outspeed Speed Boosting on Mega at +1. So I really felt like Choice Scarf Salamence was a good fit for this team, regardless of the win con, but I really feel like the win con is simply Salamence coming in and clicking Outrage at the late game. Obviously, I have to get rid of Granbull for that to work, and I have to also either get rid of or severely weaken Gligar if he brings it. Otherwise, if we bring this thing in against an Alakazam and I just click Outrage, something dies, you know what I mean? And if I get that Moxie boost, then things start to steamroll, and Salamence should be able to win the game from there. You know, obviously Dragon Claw is there in case I think he's low enough and I don't need Outrage, because obviously the confusion could play into an effect there. But you know, this thing could really put in some work against his team. So I think we got the right pieces. He's got like a couple things too, like Earthquake could easily win this game with Tyranitar being weak to a Volcanion, Raikou, a couple things that are weak to Earthquake. So it really is just a matter of me evaluating his team and saying, okay, what do I need to get rid of for Salamence to win this game? And that's really the primary win condition, is looking at trying to whittle his team down, use things like Victini and Mawile to break through the walls, the big heavy stuff. I've got a couple switch-ins, Seismitoad and Silvally serving as pivot Pokemon. Weezing get those T-Spikes up, and then Salamence should come in and hopefully win the game for me. So that's our core strategy here against the South Texas Sableyes. Looking to be a pretty good match here in NPA Season 4, hoping to go to 3-0. Thank you guys so much for watching this match, this team builder. The match will be up tomorrow. That's coming from you guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Thanks so much for checking out my last video. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one. And be sure to subscribe for more as I post Pokemon videos every single day.